What is up, guys? This is TCG Sam here, and in today's video I got a Dogmatika Invoked Shaddoll test hand video for you guys. So I may or may not have posted a Dogmatika Shaddoll Invoked combo tutorial earlier and deck profile, so if you haven't already, go check those out. But yeah, in this video I'm going to be just going over some of the plays you can do with the deck by just drawing some random hands. So like, obviously the combos are the ideal hands you want to draw, but sometimes hands aren't always like that. Yeah, you could still sometimes get to the same end board. But yeah, before we begin, I just want to ask you guys to please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, leave a like on the video, and be sure to click that notification bell for notifications every time I upload. But yeah, anyways, without further ado, let's shuffle up and get into our very first test hand. So starting off, we have Yugioh, Meltdown, Squamata, and Meltdown. So it's not obviously not the best because drew like these two extras. I'd rather have these two been something else, but we definitely still have plays with this. Activate Meltdown effect. Add yourself an Alistair, normal summon an Alistair effect. Add yourself Invocation, and now here's where it gets interesting. You can actually use Invocation here on these two as like a fusion, as just like a regular fusion spell, and that's a pretty cool play because also this way we don't really care if we send the Ecclesia to grave, because if we get access to another fusion spell and we summon Cross we just get Ecclesia back and search something else. So I would say you only really want to do this play if you're sure your opponent has like no hand traps or something. This play is definitely a lot more hand trap susceptible. Like obviously the safe play of course is just Mechaba, Ecclesia search, Ecclesia search like a punishment or Fleur de Lis, and just like pass with this. But like of course that's not really fun, and I'm going to show you guys what you can do by doing this. You feast these two away into El Shaddoll Construct. I don't play the Alistair link, so if we did that, we would be able to access another Alistair. But anyways, that's not super big of a problem because if we really need to, we get Schism and banish Alistair from their graveyard, letting us add it back with Invocation later on. But yeah, anyways, I apologize for rambling. Effect of Construct and effect of Squamata. So one of them sending Wendy. The other one, I would personally send El Shaddoll Fusion, I think, because we want to trigger the Cross Sheep to bring back our Ecclesia later on. So yeah, we just do that, or we could, instead of, no, I apologize, we actually don't, no, we do need to do this because we can't really do the aerial play because we're going to be locked out of our extra deck once we use Ecclesia. So we want to make sure the Cross Sheep is the last thing we do. So Wendy effect, instead of summoning back Ariel, I think I'm going to set I'm going to set a Hedgehog actually, and I'm going to show you guys why I did that. So I linked these two off into Cross Sheep, effect a Construct, add back El Shaddoll Fusion, and then from here we can activate El Shaddoll Fusion, fusing these two away for a Winda. And then we have Chain Link. Oh, we only have a Hedgehog, but Hedgehog can pretty much just get us Shaddoll Monster for future play. Effect of this, the Cross Sheep summon back Ecclesia. Ecclesia effects get us Punishment or Fleur de Lis, and we still have Alistair and a Shaddoll Monster for next turn if we really need to. So yeah, I apologize when I said earlier this play was going to be more extravagant. Like honestly, it just depends on whether you value the Winda more or you value the Mechaba more. So I apologize, I didn't really see any other lines of play other than this, but like you pretty much end on the same board with that starting hand. The only difference is pretty much if you have Mechaba or you have Winda on the board. So whichever one you value more, you should definitely just go for that one. So yeah, that's going to do it for test hand number 1. Alright, and now I'm going to be shuffling up for test hand number 2. So in test hand number 1, we saw that we were able to end on the Ecclesia plus either a Winda or Mechaba, depending on which line you took, with a good follow-up with like an Alistair in our hand. So now for this test hand, let's see if we can actually make a better or bigger board actually. So we'll finish shuffling up, give it one final cut. and we'll draw our starting 5. Punishment, El Shaddoll, Hedgehog, Wendy, and Meltdown. So this hand is actually pretty good because we have Alistair plus the Shaddoll plays I showed you in the test hand video. But if you guys didn't see that, I'm going to show you guys now. Add Alistair, Alistair effect, add invocation, turn Alistair into Almirage, into Secure Gardener. Pretty standard plays from here. And from here, we can El Shaddoll Fusion away our Reach Doll Wendy and our Secure Gardener and go into Construct. Of course, chaining 1 Construct, chaining 2 Wendy. Here we can send Squamata effect, summon. I actually think here I'm not going to show like a standard line of play. I'm actually going to be showing the play you can make if you send Schism instead. So like Winda is going to summon let's say Squamata, not a Squamata face down because of a fusion play we want to make on our opponent's turn. We can turn this into a gravity controller effect, either add back Schism or fusion. Actually, I think I shouldn't have sent fusion. That was a misplay on my part. I apologize. Because we want to just add the fusion back and have a window play on our opponent's turn actually. So I actually apologize. I should not have sent it. Yes, I know I misplay a lot. I apologize for that. Hopefully you guys bear with me. I think at this point I just honestly just send a beast off of the Squamata to kind of thin your deck out for possibly an Ecclesia or an Nadir Servant. If we draw one of those, we are in very, very good shape. So let's see what we can do. Even if we don't, we still have a Mecha Blood plus a Winda and a Punishment and a good follow-up. Draw a Hedgehog, not the greatest, but honestly, it's okay. Invocation. I'd like to keep the Construct engraved because we don't have the Trap yet and Nail Shell Aerial yet, so I just want to get rid of the other ones first. Summon Mechaba, effect the invocation, shuffle itself back, add Alistair, set these two, and on our opponent's turn, we are pretty much set. We can El Shaddoll Fusion away these two into a Winda. That's going to trigger the effects of Hedgehog and of Squamata, so like we get another plus to our hand. We get like Wendy to our hand, send a Wendy effect. You can set something like Aerial if you're sure your opponent can't do anything to you. So yeah, at this point, honestly, you're in a very, very good shape because you're just gonna kill your opponent next turn if they can't out the Winda Mechaba plus the Punishment. But yeah, anyways, that's gonna do it for the second test hand. I know it was pretty quick, but hopefully you guys were able to still learn something from it. Alright, so I'm going to be shuffling up for the final test hand right now. I'm going to do a hypothetical going second one to see how well we can break boards. I'm assuming let's say we're going to be staring down like a Dragoon or something. Dragoon, maybe one interruption like an Ash Blossom. I actually don't know if I'll be able to draw a hand that can play through both of them, but I guess we'll see, honestly. So yeah, Dragoon plus one hand trap like an Ash Blossom or something. Let's see what we can actually do with this deck and see if it can actually break that board. So, starting off, we open Nadir, Punishment, Alistair, L, Squamata. We don't open Gamma, so that's unfortunate. Alright, so going second, we're going to assume that our opponent may or may not have Drill, so I don't really want to play into it with the Terraforming. Normal Alistair, activate its effect. At this point, I figured my opponent might probably, I think it's correct to negate it with like Ash Blossom or something. So say he uses the Ash Revealer, so we don't get the invocation. We can turn this into Almirage, into Garna. Next we get El Shaddoll Fusion. So if our opponent like negates this, we're fine. We still have the Nadir Servant to play, but like if they don't negate it, they're in very, very big trouble. So like assuming they don't negate because let's say they don't understand how powerful these Shaddoll effects can be, we can go 1 Construct, 2 Squamata. This time you actually want to send Shaddoll Fusion because you're gonna try to bait your opponent into forcing your opponent to negate Shaddoll Fusion later on. And then Construct effect is going to send you could send honestly anything you want. You can send like a Wendy effect, grab yourself like beast or something face down. But since we're actually going for more power, I think I'd just rather send the beast for the draw, to be honest. So another small misplay, I definitely should have terraforming first for Magical Meltdown and Alistair to thin out my deck, but too late for that. So let's see if that actually matters. Beast effect, draw one, draw invocation. That's perfect, honestly. Terraforming now into meltdown into Alistair. So yeah, I definitely should have done that first. I got rewarded for playing poorly, but that's just Yu-Gi-Oh, man. It's not really much my opponent could have done about it. Turn this into Gravity Controller, construct effect, add Shaddoll Fusion, activate Shaddoll Fusion, and the crazy thing is, if they let Magical Meltdown resolve, they actually cannot negate it with Dragoon. So yeah, if they actually did that, they're in a world of hurt, because our fusion's able to send Wendy. I didn't even realize before I activated, so that was once again my bad. Send Wendy, and we already sent Hedgehog, and then we can summon our Apollo, chain block with Apollo, like just to negate the Anaconda or something, because we just want these two guys to resolve. Hedgehog effect is going to add a Squamata. Yeah, I think Squamata is nice, and then Wendy's going to actually set the aerial face down. And then at this point, we're going to activate the invocation, banish. Our opponent can't negate it because of meltdown. So if they were playing optimally, they should have negated the meltdown. But like, honestly, I don't think most people really think of that. But like, even if they negated the meltdown, we still had our Shaddoll Fusion play and our invocation play. So ultimately, that changes nothing in the end. Now we just summon a Mechaba, and like now they literally cannot use their Dragoon. Invocation, shuffle itself back, add Alistair to hand. If they try using their Dragoon, they pretty much lose. So yeah. Now I decided to set an aerial as a follow-up play for construct when we were able to flip it face up. But now I'm just going to activate Nadir's Servant here. Nadir's Servant can send anything we want. I think I'm just going to send Titaniclad, or yeah, we can send like a Titaniclad, add Ecclesia, special summon itself, Ecclesia effect, add Fleur-de-Lis, and now we just special summon our Fleur-de-Lis and negate Dragoon. So like, yeah, this is pretty powerful. This is definitely game because our opponent has 500 Anaconda and a 3k Dragoon. Like, even if they try negating it, they would lose to Mechaba and they would just take more damage in the end. So we go battle phase, double Alistair on Mechaba, 45, so 1500 over Dragoon, 500, so that's 2k, plus 3k, 2k because of this, so that's 6k, and then 8500 with Apollo, and we still have a punishment and an aerial on our opponent's turn to actually, and our aerial has a follow-up, to summon back construct and win. So yeah, that's actually gonna do it for the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed watching how the deck played. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments below. And once again, please remember to subscribe to the channel, leave a like on the video, and turn on that notification bell if you haven't already to get notified instantly whenever I upload. So yeah, I just want to thank you guys so much for watching once again, and I will see you guys soon. If you guys want the cheapest Yu-Gi-Oh cards on the market in Canadian dollars with free shipping to Canada, then be sure to check out my eBay page in the description below.